After many months' training and preparation, a 21-strong Scientific Exploration Society-backed expedition assembled in Ulaanbaatar, capital of Mongolia, in early July 2013. The aim was to ride into a remote mountainous area near the Mongolia-Russian border to aid a little visited group known as the Reindeer people. Along the way, the team was to give medical and dental help, distribute books to needy village schools, and give out reading glasses, as well as study the flora and fauna. We were accommodated at the Springs Hotel near the city centre and found the place alive with preparations for the annual festival of Nodam, under the watchful eye of Genghis Khan. Military parades, dancing, and even a dinosaur recently recovered, having been illegally taken to USA, were on display in Suhabata Square. The Buddhist temples of Ulaanbaatar are of special interest. There was Gandan Monastery, also known as the Great Place of Complete Joy. It was almost completely destroyed in 1937 during the purges under communism. And there is the statue of Mijid Jan Rezig, 26 meters high and covered in copper, which replaces one that was taken out by the Russians to make bullets. The rapidly expanding modern city has a fascinating black market, selling a wide variety of goods and, of course, the traditional saddles. So we flew off to the city of Moron with our organizer, Professor Turbish from Genghis Expeditions.
Hi there.
On arrival, we visited an archaeological dig of a reindeer stone site being carried out by a Russian university, and our surveyors made a sketch map.
500 years ago. So this construction is included very different of time.
Different period.
Different period time.
Yes. ингээд харахад бол энэ бол одоо энэ археологийн малтал хийж байгаа юм шиг байна.
So as you see, this they're working on these constructions. Maybe they're finding something archaeologists.
Archaeological expeditions.
Expeditions. Yeah.
Okay. Are they excavating graves? Or?
I think it's graves. Digging graves. Yes. За бүгэн чулуунууд бол яг дандаа билэгдийн чанартай байдаг. Бид очиад үзнэ.
So these deerstons are always a symbol of something.
Дээрээс яг зэрэг ингээд агаараад ингээд тэмдэгэ цойсон. Их уран гоё одоо тийм еврейн суйс юм одоо бугнууд олон бугнуудыг ингээд тэмдэгэ цойлож байгаагаар ингээд хийсэн байдаг.
So there are crafts about many different kinds of deers on these stones, and they're always towards to the sky.
Тэгээд тэр бүгэн чулууны орой дарнуудын дугуй дүрснүүд байгаа тэр бол одоо нар.
On the top of these deerstones are circle, and this represented the sun.
Тэгэхээр монголчуудын хувьд бол одоо нарыг шүтдэг, нарын шүтдэгтэй байсан үе үү?
So Mongolians always sacrifice the sun and from the Greek inquisitors.
So, do you know, is this earlier or this one yet, or you need
this big hips earlier?
right?
This small with rings
Yes.
later, because two barrels of with rings
Yes.
overlap
Yes.
the constructions of this big herriksul.
There we met a lady from the Russian university who really hadn't got very many clothes on, but I noticed that she had a pad on her bottom and also later on knee pads to aid her when she was bending down on the dig. Our support convoy that had set out from Ulaanbaatar the previous day had a slow journey thanks to the breakdown of the large stores truck, but nevertheless we soon had a comfortable camp near Moron.
Yes, the clouds have got it, but
The nearby river also provided the opportunity for us to carry out river crossing drills, just in case.
Okay, so this is a Mongolian power shower. Guys, just because we have a river here and we're almost all here, and it's easy to demonstrate if you've got a river, because that might get you like a tumble dryer movement. Do that. And do this, okay? And you look drift down the river, you have time to think. And then once it's safe again, stand up. Okay, but it will give you time to think. And you're not panicking, okay? Just sit down, not too deep. Hands up to the side, it will help you drift. And you think, okay, how am I going to get out of this ship? And that's a safe swimming position. You're less likely to get entangled with your feet in any branches. Horse right on your upper thigh.
Near our camp, we took the opportunity for a bath in the river. It was pretty cold.
Amongst other things. Oh, yeah. She got my plaster off with my laceration healed. That's a good reason to lose his voice, though, isn't it?
Oh.
That's great.
Next day, we witness the famous Naadam festival, which involves archery, horse racing and wrestling. This was at Moron, the administrative centre of the Khovsgol province.
Okay, you're in the picture.
However, that evening a heavy storm struck the camp, but it didn't last long, and on the morrow we continued to watch the Naadam events.
We know when it's raining. Yeah.
The large wrestlers start off by fighting younger men, first of all to train them, and then the giants go on to fight each other.
There's more than one bout going on at a time, though, so we're out of shield is. I've got it. Flatten anybody.
The victorious wrestlers carry out a traditional eagle dance at the end of each bout. Then there were more parades, dances, in which even the children take part.
Иргэд хөдөлмөрчид гэр бүлүүдийн баярын жигсаал энх орж ирж байна.
Моросовын хөгжлийн энх хөдөлмөрийн хөгжил багч төлөвтэй. Өнөөдрийн дээртэй Монгол наадмаас байгаа хөгжил багчдын төлөөдөд.
Өнөөдөр дээртэй Монгол наадмын удажиг хаанд Монгол дээдэрэн гойсон олон сайхан нар төмний төлөө төрөлцсөн байна. Таран баяр хүргье. Бид бүхний хүрээтэй хооч болсон энэ сайхан дээр халуун номтолчдаар ирээдүйн сайхан хүн бас ерөө бишгийг дээж
Хамаастай Батмгаа оролцож байна. Гингийн даваач яваа.
Та бүхэнд зориулж энэхүү хувцас маань Хилэн сэргийн
Гэр бүлийн хосын төрөлд оролцож байгаа хосуудыг үрж байна.
Ямар мондөг юм бэ? За манай бүжгийн хосууд маань одоо гарч ирсэн байна.
From here we drove north on rough tracks to meet up with our horses, who are better suited to this terrain than our vehicles.
Bollocks.
As it was late in the day, we made camp in a swamp whilst the truck was extracted. And by good chance, our zoologists managed to catch some voles.
Can I suggest, do you want people hanging on that side?
The mud's running the commando course.
Great!
Pressing on northward, we reached the Belcher River and a small settlement where we paused for hot tea by an old Russian military bridge. There too, we also saw our first uvu, a sacred spot which you are required to walk round 3 times in a clockwise direction and make a wish.
books for children, and you can give a little short speech. And
at the village of Ulan-Ul, we presented the kindergarten with school books that were clearly much appreciated. Okay. We are delighted to be able to help you, and we hope that these books will be of some value to the children of your school.
За танад сэлгийн хүүхдүүдэд үнтэй бэлэг болгож энэ хэд номнуудыг хүүхдүүдийн хэрэг болох байх, гэгэрх хэрэг болох байх гэж энэ номнуудыг танад сэлж өгч байгаамаа.
Баярлалаа.
Thank you very much.
Баярлалаа. Би өөрийгөө танилцуулъя. Монголын улсын өвчтөний цэцэрлэгээ эрхлэж Монгол улсын албан боловсролын тэргүүний ажилтан улирын хүндэт тийм ядaalтай тэргүүлэх зэрэгтэй багш Загдаа гэдэг юм байна.
Let me introduce myself, and my name is Zag. I am the chief of this kindergarten, and she was awarded by the the best work of education, and she also has got the Medal of Labor.
Congratulations.
Баярлалаа.
Take a picture. There we are, dear. Can you hold it up a little bit? On the evening of the 12th of July, we reached the Koglin River, where our camp and the chief horseman, Batmonk, awaited us with 65 horses. Here we tested our mounts and the pack horses before setting off through the tiger forest to the north. When all was ready, we crossed the river and our column wound itself through the scenic, large forests in warm sunshine, but with occasional horseflies to bother us, and wow, could they bite.
Very good. Wait. I'm going to run out of battery.
When the going got steep, we walked our horses and found it pleasant to stretch our legs. These animals are extraordinarily robust and pretty well behaved, although I found mine was constantly trying to gallop. Although it was warm in the day, at dawn there was frost on our tents, and one needed a warm sleeping bag at night.
Lucky you.
We're going to walk the horses this way.
Okay.
Oh, you live in
Very
so much
good.
more house.
Excellent.
What do you mean?
We live in a valley that's not far out.
Where's my stick? Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought you guys in all the
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, our place is only, what, about 1850.
I use it on my husband.
I still can.
The house next door is our friend's manor house. That was built 700 years prior.
Yeah.
And it looks very pretty, but I wouldn't want to live in it. It's not very well laid out inside. The kitchen sort of looks.
We rode into a large valley, and there we were happy to see the reindeer in the distance. Whilst we were having lunch, one of our guides almost trod on a young chick that we identified as a ptarmigan that seemed to be plentiful in these parts.
I'm not filming your genital area just while you're worrying about this.
That poor thing is on a roost right there, next to you.
So,
Thank you.
No, don't.
Oh, bye, Mama. Bye, Mama. Yes.
Very soon, the Sultan, or reindeer people, came over to greet us, riding on their reindeers, and they showed us where to camp.
Oh, I see you on step one.
The botanical team was soon at work in this demi-paradise.
One, and this isn't it, I don't think.
No,
it has
it's pinker.
This is an upright,
Okay.
sort of pyramidal.
Yeah.
And it says 25 species of
Oh, so there's lots and lots.
Astragala. So there's no way of knowing exactly.
Do we
what
have
it
this
is.
at home?
It just hasn't got the uprightness, has it?
It grows more like ground cover.
Yeah. And the yellow is another vetch. See by the leaves.
Yeah, but it's really abundant,
Like a
isn't
ladder.
it?
Beautiful, isn't it?
Why is it so abundant here?
Just must be a bit wetter.
But
But
it
it
would
self
be-
seeds a lot.
You'd think it would be marshy, wouldn't you, if it was here?
So almost a fruity smell, isn't it?
Fruity?
Fruit. A black currant. It's got a black
currant.
Do you know? Do you
Yes,
have
yes.
black currant?
I know.
That smells of a black currant to me. Yeah.
So we paint
Slowly getting I'm recording that, you don't mind, do you? Yeah.
The Sultan lived in several small clusters of teepees around the valley and had over 1,500 reindeer. With their usual hospitality, they invited us in for tea, which is made with reindeer milk and salt.
And she's browning the top.
A shaman ruled over the valley. He's rather like a combination of doctor, priest, and so on. And in fact, he was a very powerful chap. He very kindly invited a small group of our people to attend one of his seances, but of course wouldn't allow any filming. Our dentists and doctors were soon hard at work, whilst the people were tending their herds.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that's quite good, actually. Yeah. Let's see what when you finish snapping. How's you?
I got my best. Thank you.
Is it warm, this thing?
Yes.
Yes. But I can advise them, and I can check their blood pressure. And I can check their temperature, or I can look at their ears. So I have a very, very limited supply.
Yeah.
dutifully displayed our Prime Minister's banner, "Adventure is Great," for a campaign aimed to induce people to come on holiday to Britain. I'm not sure how many of the Sartan will come. There was certainly wildlife about. We saw ground squirrels, they were quite common, and also the zoologist discovered even more voles, as well as some rare lizards and another batch of ptarmigan. There was also a three-toed woodpecker.
How old, sweetheart? 10.
Oh,
you're a big girl,
favourite girl.
aren't you? So, what do you need for your hair? What would you like for your hair? Okay. 11. Gosh, she's tall. Okay, so do you want something for your hair? Would you like to choose? Do you like these? Do you like this?
We took some balloons for the children. They're always very popular. We gave out toys and schoolbooks and also a concertina that had been provided by a member of the SES to take out to Mongolia. On the 17th of July, we bade farewell to the Sartan and their reindeer and headed south for our rare base at the Khovsgol River.
Stop posing.
이제 저런 거 납작한 거. 알았어.
Khovsgol Mongolia. Hold on, I've left her looking a bit like a red Indian. Keep still.
Winter ice still lay in the riverbeds, but our horses had no problem in crossing this. Batmonk, our chief horseman, had a fund of stories, and doubtless his experiences with us will add to his repertoire. But he looked after us with great care. Our grooms were also expert at butchering the night's dinner. Back in camp there was time to write up our diaries, and I'm glad to say I don't think those were my knickers.
Whether you're pulling my leg, I don't know.
Around our camp, the swifts were flying and screeching a welcome. At the Coglin rear base, we bid farewell to the grooms and our splendid horses that had carried us so well. After some running repairs, we climbed aboard our vehicles and left this peaceful valley and headed back for Moron. Our stores truck moved very, very slowly, and there was a great debate whether it would ever reach Moron. While we waited for it, we watched, and then, to our horror, we saw one of its wheels fall off, and that was going to take a night of repairs. Right, well, I think that's the best thing. So you're going to leave somebody with us, huh? Yeah? Are you going to leave? Leaving the stricken vehicle with our mechanics, we drove on to Moron and spent the night in a Gur camp before flying back to Ulaanbaatar. After a night to recover in the Springs Hotel, we set out by vehicle for Huste Park, and there we were to study the strange Turkic stone carvings, and also we hoped to see the Przewalski's horses, for which the area is famous. On the evening of the 23rd of July, we waited in a broad valley, watching the hills for the Przewalski's horses to arrive, and suddenly 3 stallions appeared on the ridge above us.
Beautiful. Aren't they lovely?
We noticed the leading stallion was not going to have any competition, and he was soon chasing off the young bachelors. Soon the valley was alive with mares and foals coming to drink and enjoy the evening sun, enabling us to make a short study of these lovely creatures. Stallions fighting disturbed a marmot, who quickly made his way up the hill, and we later saw some magnificent red deer. Right.
Well done, John.
What we do for Przewalski? It's been rather fine to see so many Przewalskis here. Certainly many more than the last time we came. It's a good sign that they're breeding. We did some of our survey work on foot, climbing a pretty good hill. And there, our friend Turbish found a splendid Przewalski's horse skull. So ended a memorable and enjoyable expedition, leaving us to celebrate at a restaurant in Ulaanbaatar, where our helpful agents, Great Genghis Expeditions, had organised a splendid dinner and a birthday cake for Angela. With the British ambassador as a guest, we had live Mongolian music, and we could also celebrate the birth of Prince George.
Nice video.
Maybe you and I from the same camp.
Monday night we're in dispute because Rooney wants to move. So they're going to move. They want it to move.
Who do you support?
I've already done this once.
You can pick a football out of the air.
Which way are we going? I haven't got mine out yet. Tom, you haven't got yours out.
No, we've been driving.
Oh, that's late. That's late.